you're sabotaging your own career without even realizing it. It's not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you lack skills. It's because you're making the same mistakes that most people make. Letting emotions control you, blaming your circumstances, wasting time on meaningless distractions, and most importantly, not taking responsibility for your own life. Stoicism has been around for over 2,000 years, and its principles can transform the way you work, the way you face challenges, and the way you build success. If your career feels stagnant, if you want more, but constantly feel stuck, this video is for you. Watch until the end, because one small mindset shift can take you further than you ever imagined. If this is your first time visiting the channel, hit subscribe and like so you don't miss out on exciting upcoming content. No one cares how hard you've tried. No one is interested in hearing about your struggles. Your career is not a straight path upward. It's a series of setbacks and challenges. If you expect an easy road, you've already failed before you've even begun. Look back at your life. How many times have you failed? How many times have you been rejected? How many times have you given your best effort only to see disappointing results? If your answer is not many, then maybe you haven't pushed yourself hard enough. If your answer is too many, then congratulations, you're on the right track. Successful people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who get up faster than anyone else. Stoicism teaches that obstacles are not roadblocks, they are the path. When you face failure, you have two choices. Treat it as the end, or use it as a test to prove you deserve what you want. Most people choose the first. They quit, they complain, they make excuses. But a rare few, the ones who truly make it, choose the second. They learn, adapt, and move forward. And they are the ones you see at the top. There's a core Stoic principle that everyone should live by. What stands in the way becomes the way. If you get fired, use it as an opportunity to improve yourself, explore a new path, or even build your own business. If a project fails, analyze what went wrong and fix it. If someone tries to put you down, use it as fuel to prove them wrong. Your career will not go as planned. Some days it will feel like everything is against you. Some moments you'll want to give up. But if you're serious about this game, you won't. You'll stand up, keep fighting, and use adversity as a weapon to sharpen yourself. You can cry, complain, and look for someone to blame. Or you can accept reality, face it like a warrior, and push forward. No one can make that decision for you. You want to succeed in your career? First, you must learn to control your attention and face this truth. You are wasting it terribly. Look back at your workday. How many times do you check your phone? How many times do you scroll through social media only to realize that an hour has passed and you have accomplished nothing? How many times do you open your email in the middle of an important task only to get caught up in a flood of meaningless messages? If you are honest with yourself, you will see that you are not as busy as you think. You are simply being constantly distracted. Stoicism teaches that time is the most valuable asset you have, and once it passes, you can never get it back. Seneca once said, "It is not that we lack time, it is that we waste it." Think about this. You can lose money, but you can earn it back. You can fail, but you can start over. But every minute you waste on meaningless things will never return. If you want to advance in your career, you must eliminate everything that distracts you. Start with simple things. Turn off phone notifications, limit social media usage, and set aside uninterrupted time for deep work. Do not let yourself become a victim of technological temptations. Today's world is designed to steal your attention. Social media platforms, emails, and news all aim to turn you into an addict. If you cannot control your focus, you will become a puppet, being pulled by strings. Look at those who are truly successful. They do not spend hours each day scrolling through TikTok or arguing on Facebook. They know how to protect their attention like a warrior defends his territory. When they work deeply. When they learn, they concentrate fully. When they communicate, they are truly present. If you want to rise in your career, you must train your discipline with your focus. Treat your attention as a valuable resource that cannot be wasted. Each day, you can choose to dedicate it to things that truly matter, or let it be torn apart by trivial distractions. The decision is yours. Have you ever let anger make you say things you later regretted? Have you ever felt so hopeless that you wanted to give up completely? Have you ever let fear stop you from making an important decision? If the answer is yes, then welcome. You're human. But if you let emotions control you too often, then congratulations, you will never achieve anything significant in your career. Stoicism teaches that emotions are merely temporary reactions, not absolute truths. A criticism from your boss does not mean you are incompetent. A rejection does not mean you have no value. A mistake does not mean your career is over. But the problem is that people tend to overreact to everything. They let fear dictate their decisions, let anger destroy relationships, let disappointment drag them into despair. Look at successful people. They are not emotionless, but they do not let emotions dictate their actions. When faced with problems, they don't complain, they don't yell, they don't panic. They pause, breathe, analyze the situation rationally, and make the best possible decision. This is not emotional suppression. This is true strength. In your career, you will encounter many situations that will tempt you to react impulsively. A colleague betrays you, a client yells at you, a project you invested so much in completely fails. When that happens, you can either lose control and act emotionally, or you can do what the Stoics do. Step back, observe your emotions, and make decisions based on logic. Epictetus once said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our perception of them." What does this mean? It means you have control over how you react. Someone speaks badly about you. You can get angry, or you can ignore it and stay focused on your work. You experience failure. You can see it as a tragedy, or you can treat it as a lesson. The choice is yours. If you want to go far in your career, you must learn to master your emotions instead of being a slave to them. Others may lose their temper, panic, and react impulsively, but not you. You will act with logic, and that is why you will rise above the rest. No one cares about your excuses. No one wants to hear why you couldn't finish your work, why you haven't reached your goals, or why you don't have the life you want. This world doesn't operate on sympathy. It only respects those who take responsibility and take action. Look at your life. Everything you have or don't have is the result of the choices you've made. If your career is stagnant, it's not because your boss doesn't recognize you. It's because you haven't become good enough to be impossible to ignore. If you're not making enough money, it's not because the economy is tough. It's because you haven't created enough value to deserve higher pay. If you don't have great opportunities, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because you haven't actively sought or created them. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control the world, but you can always control how you respond to it. Epictetus once said, "It's not external circumstances that determine your fate, it's how you respond to them." If you constantly blame your circumstances, you will always be a victim. But if you realize that everything is in your hands, you will discover real power. Successful people don't complain. They don't waste time blaming their boss, their colleagues, or society. They don't sit around dwelling on what should have happened. They face reality, accept it, and then do whatever it takes to change their situation. If they lack skills, they learn. If they lack experience, they find ways to gain it. If they fail, they get back up and try again. They refuse to be victims of their circumstances. You can continue lying to yourself, telling yourself that life is unfair, that you don't have enough opportunities, that you are trapped in a broken system. Or you can stop making excuses, take control of your life, and start taking action. The decision is yours. But remember this, as long as you keep blaming others, you remain weak. Only when you take full responsibility do you truly become strong. The world is full of people willing to cheat to take shortcuts. They lie on their resumes to land jobs. They shift blame onto colleagues when they make mistakes. They flatter their bosses but talk behind their backs. And sure, they might succeed for a while, but sooner or later, people like that always get exposed. On the other hand, those who build lasting careers are the ones with integrity and ethics. They don't cheat because they don't need to. They don't lie because they don't fear the truth. They don't exploit others because they are capable of succeeding on their own. Stoicism teaches that true value doesn't come from what you display on the outside, but from who you are when no one is watching. You can choose to slack off when your boss isn't around. You can bend the rules for personal gain. You can say one thing and do another, but you cannot lie to yourself. You know exactly what you've done. And if you accept dishonesty once, you will do it again, until it becomes a habit. When that happens, you will lose respect for yourself. And if you don't respect yourself, don't expect others to respect you. Your career is a marathon, not a sprint. The small decisions you make every day, doing your best even when no one is watching, staying honest even when lying is easier, keeping your word even when no one forces you to, these are what determine how far you'll go. No one sees everything you do, but what you do in the dark will determine the light you receive in the future. Yes, others may cheat and get results faster than you. They may use tricks to climb higher in the short term, but be patient. What is built on deception will collapse. What is built on integrity will last. You don't need to sacrifice your character to succeed. You just need the patience to succeed in a way you can be proud of. Your career is the result of the choices you make every day. You can blame your circumstances, or you can take responsibility and act. You can let emotions control you, or you can train yourself to stay calm and think logically. You can waste time on distractions, or you can focus on what truly matters. You can cheat your way to quick results, or you can build lasting success with integrity. Stoicism is not some distant philosophy. It is a guide to mastering yourself, overcoming obstacles, and achieving real success. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only cares about results. And those results depend on whether you have the courage to face adversity, the discipline to eliminate distractions, the strength to control your emotions, the responsibility to stop blaming others, and the integrity to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. You can choose to stay the same, or you can start changing right now. The choice is yours. Thank you for watching. Support this amazing community by subscribing and turning on notifications now. Hit like and share your experience in the comments to spread positive energy today. Together, we can inspire and uplift each other on this journey.